I want to say how much I'm loving this process of autocosmology, this process of consciously reflecting on our life from the perspective of the story of the universe. And what people were saying earlier is when I look back at my life, I wasn't in the new story yet. Well, we were all in the new story. It's just the new story wasn't in us at the time. And so this process of autocosmology is bring the new story into our consciousness, seeing how, in some way, we've been led by the universe our whole lives. Right. So this is what we look at when we contemplate deep time leadership. Well, we ask, well, what's deep time leadership? Well, deep time leadership is allowing deep time. It's allowing the universe to be the leader. So reflecting on the new cosmology and reflecting on our own autocosmology, we see those times in our histories when the universe has been leading us. Sometimes it's been leading us towards something. Sometimes it's been a no, not that direction. But there's been leadings. There have been opportunities for what Brian's called, epiphantic consciousness. When we had epiphanies, when we had transformative insights from the universe. Those are signs of a conversation between the universe and our lives. That's leadership. So I want to tell you about this course we have coming up in January that Jennifer mentioned, which is really the natural extension of this course. It really picks up where this course leaves off. Starts in January. It runs for 19 weeks. It's weekly. And in that, we delve deeper into this process of autocosmology, asking questions of what you've dealt with so far. We do it in community. We have large group presentations with innovative presenters, including Brian, who's going to come in twice, and other presenters. We have small group, breakout groups. We have a lot of community around this. And it's all around this question of when we look at our lives, we will look at the history of our lives and we see how we're being led. Are there signs there in the breadcrumbs of our life of our cosmic task and role? Right? What are we here naturally being called to do at this time? And so reflecting back over the course of our life and taking a look at the landscape of our life right now, we start to ask, what's calling me? What's the natural movement that is wanting to come forward in my life, in my community at this time? And it's going to be different for every one of us, right? Because the universe is leading us differently in every single way. And so that's kind of the through question we're asking. Now, this advanced leadership program came about because we've been offering a 9-month leadership program through the Deep Time Network for the past 3 years, where we've had this 9-month arc of development, asking how can we organize our lives around leadership from the universe. People have been asking for an advanced program. And so we've developed this starting in the spring. Everyone in this course is already qualified to take that course, the one in the spring, because you've been delving so deeply into the process of autocosmology. So I want to just say a few more things about the process here. Here's an insight that I came into as I was writing this. The Advanced Leadership Program is a place for developing and expressing cosmic epiphantic consciousness, cosmic epiphanies in community to enlarge and develop and continue the conversation we've already been having. So there's great power in community and like-minded community in reflecting together. And one thing we're seeing is that the conversation with the universe has already begun. The universe is already leading us in significant ways as we reflect on our own cosmology. A couple of things that Brian mentioned earlier, and also Ezekiel. What is the value in the new cosmology? One, a vibrant Earth community. Two, alignment with the dynamics of the universe. Those are leadership questions. Those are leadership questions of the future that we're asking in this new program. And then Ezekiel talked about these flickers of insight that we have, these flickers of epiphantic consciousness. How do we turn those into living the new cosmology? Well, that's what this course is designed to do, is to create those conditions where those flickers can have a more steady shine in community and find ways to stabilize this larger consciousness in our midst. Jennifer asks a wonderful question. How does the story of the universe want to propel itself through you at this time? That's a leadership question. That's a leadership question asking, How does the universe want to lead me? How does the story want to come through me at this time? And our autocosmology sets us up for that. So we're going to take what you're developing here with your own autocosmology. We're going to unpack it in the advanced course. We're going to explore Thomas Berry's governing themes, such as differentiation, subjectivity, and communion. We'll look at Thomas Berry's fourfold wisdom approaches, which includes the wisdom of science, the wisdom of the classical and religious traditions, the wisdom of the indigenous peoples, and the wisdom of the feminine, and see what all these perspectives have to say about your cosmic task and your cosmic role. All right, so by studying these other perspectives, we gain more insight into our own role at this time. But at the heart of the leadership program is community. Right? It's really built around being deeply intimate with each other, being deeply in contact with each other in these conversations in a very deep and rich way. And I want to say just a little bit about what people have said about the community in our course. But just so you know, the course structure is we meet in large meetings where we always have a breakout group to come together. And then in the alternate weeks, we have these small group meetings where Casey, who's going to come talk next week, will lead us in authentic movement and creative practices. So we really get into the body and then also work together in small pods. But when people come together in community, something magical happens. Here's what people have said in the past. Consistently, over the past 3 years, people say, I found my tribe. I've come home. This is the community I've been looking for. And one way we think about it is think about the best conversation you've ever had with your best friends about the universe and what matters to you most. That's what we experience every week in these kinds of courses, right? It's a unique place where amazing people like yourselves come together and we have these profound, transformative, deep conversations and experiences together. One of the things we were aiming at in the Deep Time Leadership course was imagining what would it be like to live in the Ecozoic era, right? Thomas Berry is pointing to we're at this transitional point in our species where we're moving towards the Ecozoic. One thing we discovered is that we're living in it, right? When we're in this deep time community, in this deep time epiphantic space, we're in the Ecozoic. We have a taste of what the future is being born from in a way that's resonant with the flourishing of the Earth community and aligned with the cosmic dynamics. So we create these conscious conditions in the course and learn to create them in our lives as a result of that. We'll have lots of different practices in the program. We'll work in pods. We'll work with creative processes. We'll work with deep time meditative reflective processes. And we'll have an autocosmology journal going through the whole course for 19 weeks, reflecting on a different prompt to bring you deeper into your own autocosmology. Just to finish up, and we can be in conversation about this further privately, I want to say a couple words about why we added the term well-being. Right? Why is it called the Advanced Deep Time Leadership and Wellbeing Program? Well, that's because when people begin to become led by the universe, when they come in contact with this larger perspective, they naturally get better. They start coming from a place of wholeness. And we had countless people say, I feel better in my life. I feel more hopeful. I feel more empowered. People had improvements in their physical health and their emotional health. And it's just a reminder that we can't have healthy leaders on a sick planet. Because when we talk about the well-being, it's not just our personal well-being, it's the well-being of our communities, of our ecosystems, of the Earth community. And so when we are seeking deep time leadership and well-being, when we're being led by the universe, when we're being evoked in our cosmic role, it's naturally a benefit for the whole. Right? It's enriching, it's life-affirming for the whole. And so our cosmic role, that which we're being drawn towards, that which we were born for in some sense, is of course going to be a benefit to the whole. So when we're doing that, the universe is doing the work of moving towards wholeness for all of us, for everyone, for the human, the more than human, the cosmic, the personal, all of it. And so that's why we're calling it the Advanced Deep Time Leadership and Wellbeing Program. So it's a collective journey, right? We're here, with the birds, with the stars, with the earth. We're asking questions of them. They're asking questions of us. We're deeply listening. We're responding, and we're listening for those times in our life when we're being led by this larger perspective. So that's the vision for the course. I can feel the energy of this course, and I can feel how it's naturally moving in the direction of this advanced deep time leadership program. So I hope you'll consider joining us. It'd be wonderful to have you all with us. So thank you all for some time to talk about it.